In realising rights, we've taken a strong human rights approach to economic globalisation and to trade. And we see trade as being very imbalanced in some measures against the poorest countries. And part of the reason is the subsidies on food, rice and sugar and cotton in the richest countries, in the United States and in Europe and in parts of Asia, Japan. And we have campaigned together with Oxfam, I'm the honorary president of Oxfam, to draw attention to the fact that this is a human rights issue too. And we want more coherence between the trade policies and the aid policies of countries. Ireland, I'm very proud of, has a very good Irish aid policy. I'm not so proud that it's in the forefront of Europe getting rid of agricultural subsidy approaches that have an impact on the poorest countries. And I think we want to get more coherence. In the United States, we've just seen a very bad farm bill, which is heavily subsidising, even though, because of the ethanol issue, never has production of corn been more profitable, and it's still being subsidised. So, you know, we have really big problems to address. And we try to bring African concerns to the table. So we've organised several round tables in Washington on aid for trade, on a fairer trade, on complex issues, not as trade experts, but as human rights issues. When we were talking about ethical globalisation as an initiative, which we now call Realising Rights, we were talking about the fact that we must understand that food and safe water and health and education and shelter are human rights. They're in the Universal Declaration that we're marking the 60th anniversary of, and that it's the responsibility of governments to have a regime that ensures access to basic food. We have a big problem at the moment, a combination of high food prices because of biofuel, ethanol, etc., flooding in certain food-producing areas, and buying up of futures in food, which is a pretty shocking idea that you somehow create a market in the future and by doing so drive up prices that people can't afford to pay. It's part of our concern during this year of the 60th anniversary of the Universal Declaration to have a particular focus on right to food. And next month, July, we are joining with a number of organisations, the elders are, Action Aid and Irish Concern and others, and we're going to have meetings in South Africa, in Dublin, on right to food. And they will be looking at the complex forces that are driving up the food price and what we can do about it. And also the fact that food should, by and large, be produced locally. When you have frozen chickens coming from Europe and destroying a local chicken market, that is something that we have to think about. My real concern about the food crisis is that it's not a short-term problem. It's going to be aggravated by all the effects and impacts of what we call climate change. And we may see hundreds of millions of climate change refugees over the coming years. So we have a band of time, maybe 20 years, in which to really change a great deal and make it fairer, make it more local, and affirm the possibilities of people of being able to pull themselves out of poverty by being able to influence their environment around them, grow their food locally, shop locally, have anybody who's working in their environment understanding that they must be respected and their rights must be vindicated, rights to food and safe water, sanitation, health, education. It's a big, big task because we are looking at quite a grim situation with the population increase. It's going to be in the poorest parts of the world, another potentially 3 billion people added to the population of the world. And young people need a hope of taking part in their society, not to be jobless and marginalised. And that's why having a whole range of people gather together under Every Human Has Rights, energises me. So, thank you.